And now to our first conversation. Well, some changes are being made at Gtext Holdings, a real estate investment company with footprints abroad. Dr. Stephen Akintayo recently stepped down as CEO to take up a more oversight role of chairman and appointed 7 new CEOs to head up the different subsidiaries. Let's hear why this is coming and get to know some of the CEOs. Well, joining us now is Dr. Stephen Akintayo, chairman, Gtext Holdings. He's joined us virtually. Well, we have Mr. Rana Ajas, Group CEO, Gtext Holdings, join us right in the studio. And we also have Quinette Uchendu, General Manager, Gtext Land, both of them right here in the studio. Great to have you both.
Great to be here too.
And great to have you, Mr. Akintayo, joining us virtually. Great to have you. So let's start off with you now, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. So what factors led to the decision to transition from the role of Group CEO to the advisory position of chairman at Gtext Holdings, and what considerations influenced the selection of Mr. Rana Ajas right here with us in the studio?
Good morning. How are you doing today? I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. So, I mean, we know the story of Gtext and how we started from a very humble beginning. And we over time are growing bigger and bigger. And the subject of liquidity and raising funds has become a major priority. And for me, I'm just a basic trader. And so talking about institutional funding, it was necessary to get a professional. Mr. Rana has over 2 decades as an investment banker. And so he understands and has the credibility to bring a lot of institutional funding, which is the critical phase we are now, which is we're trying to raise a lot of funding to be able to execute most of the construction work we have all over the world.
Yeah, I can imagine. And talking about Mr. Rana, I'll come to you now. You have a background in investment banking. Talk to us about your strategy to actually lead such a company as this, and definitely with a new climate here in Nigeria. Talk to us about that.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Great to have you.
As our chairman mentioned, I'm an investment banker for over more than 2 decades, based in Dubai, and I've been operating in the financial market since then. My forte has been real estate and hospitality sectors. Typically I have done, other than the conventional lending where senior debts do come in, I've been very innovative in structuring the financial solutions. Investment banking is something which brings you some innovative and unique approach to meet your financial needs. And I think a company like Gtext Holdings, which is going to the next level, my coming in is bridging that gap. And particularly, I've been in Nigeria for the last 2 months. I have been running around all the Nigerian capital market players, met the regulators, FMDQ and SEC. And I could see there's a potential. We could raise some local funding as well, and we are exploring those options. But Gtext is more of kind of global organization now. We're not limiting ourselves to Nigeria. I'm in discussion with the investment banks in Dubai, in Zurich, and in the US as well. We just launched a 40-acre property in Houston, which is our first milestone in the US. And we initially secured the funding, and we have already registered our G-West Capital, which is a US SEC-approved fund in the United States for crowdfunding platform. So there are a lot happening at the moment in Gtext. I have a young team of CEOs, very vibrant and dynamic. So chairman has taken up his seat back. He is very much on the business, but he is a kind of advisory role. I'm here to spearhead the affairs of the company in restructuring a proper corporate governance culture and taking up the financial requirements and meeting those demands.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're not seeing this as a tall hill at this time. You sound like you're ready for this. Definitely. Great to hear that. Let me come to Quinette Uchendu. Great to have you also this morning, and you're in charge of lands, at this time. Yeah. And definitely there's a lot going on, in the real estate industry in Nigeria right now. We're seeing demolitions, everywhere at this time for illegal structures, that is, and there's still some regulatory issues, around this space. Talk to me about what you're bringing, at this time to actually make buyers feel comfortable, knowing that you're buying this land or buying this property, and at some point it doesn't get demolished.
So, good morning, and thank you for having me. So, yes, I've been in the real estate space for some years now, and part of the ways we've been able to build trust in the heart of our buyers is by creating solutions to the problems faced in the real estate spaces. So, yes, Gtext land is majorly focused on, aside the sales of land, we're also focused on educating our clients. So we've made the sales process very seamless. So we've answered questions like educating clients, what should they expect if I go into real estate? So just like you said, a lot of persons have been scammed, right? So if they know what to do, right, they would not have excuses to be scammed because they are actually following the script. So we educate clients. What should I look out for? Where is the land located? What is the status of the land? If I get this property with you, what should I expect? Is there documentation? Those are the kind of things we educate our clients. In fact, allow me to boast with this. We're one of the first real estate company that's currently doing what we call a virtual inspection. Now, the reason why we do
virtual
this is
inspection.
Yes, the reason why
so
we
I don't
do
have
this
to go
is
physically
exactly.
to
So you can
some
be
outskirts land.
Yes, you can be in the US, you can be in Malaysia. You don't need to send your relative to buy your property. A lot of times on social media, we've seen a lot of persons tell you that I gave my relations money and I just go back and I've been scammed. There's no property. So now you can see your property. You can watch the allocation process. So yes, 2 days ago, we just launched our Serious Estate Ekpe, that the freeze was there to allocate to smart investors, and we aired this live. I think Channels too was there with us.
Right.
So, you see, these are part of the ways we try to build trust with our clients, make them feel relaxed wherever they are in the world. Another thing we're doing is we're very customer-centric. The client is everything. Without the client, we're not a brand. So we've been able to grow this brand as a result of our client database, the love they have shown us also. And how did we do that? I also want to boast with this point. We're also one of the first real estate companies to have what we call a 24/7 CRM. So you can be in the US. There's a time difference with the US and Nigeria. Any client can call us at any time. So we have a team of professionals that is ready for you. Any point in time, you can reach out for your queries, your inquiries, you want consultation, we're right there for you. So because we value relationship, that's why we're trying to build it. And yes, this is what has worked for us over the years.
So even if I call at 1 a.m.
Yes,
Nigerian time,
of course,
somebody's going to be there.
Even if you send a mail, I'm telling you,
I'll get a response immediately.
Yes,
I'll definitely put that to the test.
Of course.
Well, let me come to Mr. Akintaya now. With 90% of your team consisting of young professionals and 7 young CEOs heading subsidiaries, do you have any concerns about their preparedness, exposure, maturity in handling the considerable pressures inherent in this business landscape?
Well, very good question. What we've done is to balance it. Mr. Rana is in his 50s. We have some other people as well who are in the C-suits, who work strongly with the CEOs, and they're quite older. For our work is very intense. I left Houston about 4:45 last night. Landed in Heathrow on my way to my hotel. I'm having this interview. I have another meeting 12 noon here in London. So it's really a very intense kind of work. And if you're not, the strength of the youth is an added advantage. However, we then have older ones, because once you combine strength of the youth with the wisdom of the old, I often say miracle happen. And for us, that's what we're doing. And we have no choice but to develop our young people. Well, the company that is thinking long term, we're hoping that we'll be here in the next 1,000 years. And one of the best ways to begin to train people, and even the whole process of having a new group CEO is part of that understanding that the earlier you master the art of succession and perfect it, the better. A lot of people wait till they are way older before they, experiment and perfect their succession plan. So for us, it's doing that early, and then, of course, on ground to be able to help mitigate whatever challenges we occur.
Yes, and definitely talking about the business space here in Nigeria. Come to you now, Mr. Rana. Definitely this is a Nigerian company. First of all, do you think you understand this business climate well enough to lead this kind of company?
Yeah, I think this is a very important question. This was on my head when I was offered the position. A lot of skepticism was in my mind when I took up the position. But do remember, fundamentals of financial or real estate markets are same globally. Yes, each domestic environment could be different or challenging. When I came into Nigeria, I could see the challenges, but the good news is Nigeria is changing. I could see that political will and reform agenda which is going to transform Nigeria in coming years. The main thing is about perception outside in the global world. That got to be changed. When I talk to the bankers in Dubai and DIFC, the first question on, are you in Nigeria yourself? Because that is big thing. And my coming in itself is a manifestation that Nigeria is safe. And what I have seen, it's a buzzing business environment. Lot is happening here. It's a big population, 200 million plus. Lot of demand of housing units, infrastructure. So all international players are looking into Africa, particularly Nigeria. I have gathered a lot of information. I'm comfortable in operating in Nigeria, but don't forget we are global. I'm based in Dubai, but will be frequent visits to Nigeria and our US missions. And practically, I have traveled to all major cities of Nigeria. Don't be surprised. I have been to Port Harcourt, by road, Asaba, Benin, and every other city. So I have felt what Nigeria is all about. So I'm confident with this young team, with the leadership and vision of our chairman. I got that management and financial experience which takes to the company to the next level, and our vision is to build 25,000 green and smart homes, and we are aiming to raise about $25 billion globally to meet that requirement.
And I hope you can also give us some affordable housing with all of that.
Oh yes, definitely. We are not known in the market as the cheapest. We are on the higher end, I would say.
Right.
But we are trying to make ourselves more affordable to the common man as well. And another thing which makes us more affordable, we have so much flexibility in payment options. So today you can acquire a piece of house and with a certain deposit, about 25-30%, and spread over 24 to 36 months. We have those options. So all our valued clients, I would emphasize, don't miss it out, because real estate is something which you cannot catch over time. We just launched a estate in Ape 2 days back. I think this is a high opportunity to grab that land, and you will see in 3 months the prices would be double.
Right. Definitely. That's why we all want to buy those cheap lands, getting early and make a profit, at some point. Well, let me come to you now, Quinette. We know Gtext land subsidiary the focus seems to overlap with that of Gtext homes. Is there some kind of fine line or difference with that?
Of course, there's a huge difference. So if I go by the name land and home, so you can see a difference. So, but for Gtext land, our focus is on the acquisition and the sales of luxury service plots. Our goal is to own over 200 estates, luxury estates across the globe, and with a guarantee that's guaranteeing our clients over a high investment in about 5 to 10 years, which is what we call the land banking. And then for Gtext Homes, is a subsidiary that's in charge of building on that estate. That's the luxury service plot. Those estates, Gtext Land is acquiring. So they are in charge of building the vision of 25,000 housing units, smart estates in that particular estate. So yes, Gtext Land, Gtext Homes, we're just majorly concerned in acquisition of the land, sales of the land.
Right. Definitely, so much to unpack there. But Dr. Akintayo, now before we wrap things up, I'd like to get your outlook. Going into 2024, What should we be expecting from Gtext?
Well, a lot of good news. As you can see, there's so much we're doing in terms of expansion. Last Saturday, we just did open house for our 40 acres in Katy, Houston, Texas, in the US. When that project is completed, it's going to be the largest green and smart home in the whole of US, as we're building over 400 to 500 units of green and so there's so much of expansion. People need to adjust to the reality that we are really the national company. Our expansion in Dubai continues as well, and we're open to doing business at a bigger scale. And we're also looking at a few options and products, just like the group CEO said, that can make the flexible payment. Real estate isn't that affordable, but how do we make it more accessible? Our cooperative is looking into, starting from next year, an opportunity for people to start saving as low as 10,000, 20,000 every month from their salary. And then the cooperative now giving them an opportunity to borrow another 500% towards buying a land. So those are the ways we hope we can, intervene in trying to see that people, their accessibility of buying land and owning houses become a lot better. So they should look forward to a lot of good news, a lot of expansion, a lot more better quality products in land, in housing, and some other new subsidiaries that are start coming up. We're looking at starting movies. We have about 2 movie scripts that are likely to come next year. So there's a whole lot. Some I can't disclose now.
Definitely, we'll be looking forward to that, and also the movie aspect of it all. Thank you so much. It was great having you all. Dr. Stephen Akintayo, who is now chairman Gtext Holdings. He joined us virtually. And we also had right here in the studio Rana Ijas, Group CEO, Gtext Holdings, and Quineth Ichendu, General Manager, Gtext Land. It's great having all of you. I would definitely hope Nigerians can afford more houses going into 2024, hopefully.
Well, definitely, it's exciting times for us. We are just finalizing our budgets. A lot of offerings in the market. So watch out, Gtext.
We'll keep watching that space.
And we look forward, and thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, so we wrap things up there. When we come back, we're looking at some latest acquisitions right here, company acquisitions in Nigeria. That's our next conversation and other matters. That's in a moment. Just stay with us.